Hey girl, hey, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Misha. Thank you guys for joining me yet again for another review. We are back with a brand new review for The Real Housewives of Potomac, Season 7, Episode 2. If you are new here, then welcome. I give lighthearted reviews with a little bit of laughter and a little bit of shade and a whole lot of detail. If you're back for a second or third time, then welcome back. Y'all, please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you get anything out of the content. Now, child, let's get into it if we gonna get into it. When the episode first opens up, remember when we left off, Gizzard was being disrespectful, okay? Asking me questions in a way you shouldn't be asking nobody questions, honey. It was giving very much ignorant, child. Is this what cancer, no cancer look like? So now everybody else is over there. Candace didn't really want to get into the mix, but Wendy and Ascala was like, let's go see what I was doing. So they get over there. Wendy trying to figure out who felt like Mia was lying. So Karen goes, well, Giselle, you don't have a right to question her. And Giselle was like, I was not questioning her. Girl, is this what cancer, no cancer look like? Is questioning her. Girl, anyway, so Robin gets pissed, honey, because how dare everybody jump on Gizzard all at once. And she was like, y'all not finna act like we're the only ones that thought that this was strange. All you heifers said it. So they flash back to everybody else in their, confusion and whatnot. And so Mia's BFF Jacqueline, she pipes up. So Wendy gonna say, not to be rude, but who is she? She's like, I'm her best friend. She said, oh, okay, I just didn't know who was speaking. Baby, Wendy is hell, honey. She's like, girl, and you are? Honey, I know that's right. So in the middle of all this, Sharice slides in and she speaks. Sharice, girl, please. Child, Karen do not want to be bothered. Sharice, now is not the time. So after they get through arguing back and forth and back, honey, nothing was resolved. Everybody walked away and Mia is pissed. So then Katie in her leather jacket and her low fade, they show up. Hey, girl. You know what? Katie is so different from the gala girl that she was season 1. It's almost like, what was that? Who was that person? It's just really crazy to me. So anyway, while they over there doing that, Candace is over there telling Ashley that she's going to freeze her eggs, and Wendy making a big deal out of it, talking about, oh my God, look at you two. I like it. It's cute. Girl, over with Katie, Gizzard over there being messy, talking about, now you know Ray got a crush on you. Girl, let's go speak to him. So they go over there. She takes her over there, and Katie accosted that man, grabbed a handful of his slacks. Ma'am, do not grab that man. Katie, that is harassment, honey. You cannot be grabbing that man's butt all willy-nilly. Now, listen, I know some people thought it was funny, but to be real, if that were a man doing that to a woman, we would have a fit. Katie, you're going to have to keep your hands inside the rails, girl. Now, I know you came back and you want to be the firecracker and, oh, it's Katie. Katie's in the house. Katie, honey, you're going to have to keep your hands to yourself now. So Karen comes over while Ray is kikiing. Child, she don't care nothing about Ray getting frisky with Katie. Do your thing, just don't bring it to her. Because she got that pillow she be hunching on. Y'all remember when Karen told us she had that pillow she be hunching? Ooh, child, I ain't gonna never forget it, okay? So Karen gets up to speak her speech on the mic, okay? Because it's time for the Grand Dame to speak. Y'all know how she like to do at every event. Everybody is confused. When I say everybody, I mean everybody. They all looking around like, what is Karen talking about? She's like, the Grand Dame is back. So they all trying to figure out where exactly was the Grand Dame before the speech. Let me tell y'all something. Karen gonna give confusion if she don't do nothing else, and I live for it. I love the fact that she keep the heifers confused every time she speaks. Ooh, child. If Karen gives an event, it's gonna cause confusion, honey. Remember when she got that wig event, child? Didn't nobody know what was going on. She just bust out with a wig line all of a sudden. Then she jumped out of that cake. Child, it just be so much going on. Karen gonna give us something if she don't give us nothing. Moving forward. So Giselle is like, well, Karen is throwing a spring fling party in a Mexican restaurant. Okay, so is there not a springtime in Mexico? And what else is going on, girl? It's cold outside. Where else was y'all gonna go? Girl, goodbye. In the next scene, we see Robin in the car with her boys. She's asking them about their grades and their school. And her boys have grown into some handsome young men. They have really grown up from when we first were introduced to them when Potomac started 7 years ago. That is just crazy. And you know what? It's crazy, y'all, because when Potomac first started 7 years ago, my baby was literally a small baby. And I didn't know what the hell to do with him. And I was just like, oh my God. And then this show came out and I was like, who are these Housewives of Potomac? Baby, I do not like this show, honey. The wigs are bad. The storylines are bad. I don't like none of these heifers. And here we are 7 years later, and they are one of my favorite franchises. My, how the tables have turned. That's just a side note. So we see another scene, and Karen is at the office with her plastic surgeon, and they're checking on Tiff and Fee. They're healing up nicely, honey. Nothing to see there. Moving forward. In the next scene, Candace is at home being Susie homemaker, honey, peeling potatoes and whatnot, about to make a stew. And so her sister comes home with some wine. So her and Candace are talking. Candace tells us that her sister is living with her for a while because her home is being built. So they talking about Candace's busy life and how she's traveling here, there, and everywhere and trying to do all these things. And Candace is telling the sister, look, girl, I'm about to freeze my eggs, okay? And me and Chris, we're going to try to be pregnant by the end of the year. And her sister looking at her like, girl, what? Not the end of the year? Where this come from? It went from I don't want no kids to the end of the year. So Candace said that she wants 2 kids. So she's going to freeze one of her other eggs just so she'll have that for backup in case things don't be working when they try to do it the natural way. So then she brings up the fact that, you know, Chris is always working so much now and she really misses him and being able to go on dates and do things together. And she just miss her man. Child, let him work, okay? Because you know how people like to talk. It's giving very much Todd and Candy over there on Real Housewives of Atlanta. Todd is a mooch. He an opportunist. He don't do nothing. And then you over here with your money. And remember when you got on the scene, they were talking about you because your mama was helping you and paying the mortgage and her name was on the house. They felt like Chris was a bum. Even though they don't remember that when Chris was first introduced to us, he was the owner of a restaurant. Not just working in one. He owned it. And then remember when he had catered that barbecue when they were just getting to know Candace and Karen's wig was sliding to the back. Oh my goodness. I rewatch that scene at least once a week. If y'all ever need a pick-me-up, go to that scene where they were sitting outside and Karen had that raccoon's nest on the top of her damn head. Baby, I ain't gonna never forget it. Anyway, they try to make him out to be a bum, honey, so go on, let him work. Moving forward. In the next scene, Ashley's at the penthouse and one of her friends, Deborah, she's coming over to have a little play date. So they're letting the kids play and whatnot. So they start talking about her and Michael. So Ashley said they do still live together, but they sleep in separate rooms, so it's not different. Ashley, when they say separate, okay, it doesn't mean just separate bedrooms. It means they want you to live separately. Honey, you're separated, okay? Separate. What we gotta do, separate. Talking about me and you, separate. Honey, get rid of them. Child, you got to let it go, honey. Shout out to Avant. He got to be gone, child. It don't mean that y'all supposed to be sick. That's the thing. See, that's the kind of men you be meeting nowadays. They be like, nah, me and my baby moms, we ain't even together no more. We're separated. Does that mean you're Ashley type separated, sleeping in the next room? Or are y'all separated? Okay, does your mail still go there? Okay, or do you have your own forwarding address? Child, you got to ask people nowadays, honey. So if y'all dating, honey, make sure that if they tell you they separated or whatever they got going on, make sure they live separately, honey. I don't trust it. So then the friend asks about, you know, the house hunting, and Ashley was saying that Michael gonna stay at the penthouse because he doesn't want a yard. He doesn't want to have to do maintenance. He don't want none of that. And she's gonna move to the house. And that is why she is ready to be on her own. It is because she knows that those kids are going to outgrow that space. Michael is being selfish. Your kids are not going to be able to flourish in that house like that, in that apartment. They're going to have to get out and move around. So I'm thinking what Karen was saying was right. Ashley is doing this so that she can get the house that she wants. Child, y'all ain't get no divorce. She said, you know, people expect her to be sad about it, but she's not sad because her and Michael are still there together. And she's been using TikTok to cope. And she wants to host a dance class for the ladies. Now, I see Ashley doing her TikToks and whatnot. And child, no comment. Moving forward. In the next scene, Robin and Giselle meet up for a little breakfast gossip. And as soon as Rob sits down, she's like, girl, I got a bone to pick with you. Here you go, Giselle. What'd I do? What I do? She said, I want you to think very hard about it. What do you think you did? Baby, Robin got a new hair color and a new attitude because we ain't never heard Rob call out Batman. We ain't never heard Robin call out Batman. So Giselle trying to think, honey, the think bubble is floating over the top of her head. And she was like, something that you shouldn't have said. She was like, oh my gosh. So basically she calling out Gizzard for telling people that she didn't have Juan's name on the deed. Now, do I think she did it on purpose? If it were anybody else, I would say yes. But I don't think she did it to Robin on purpose. I just think she needs to watch her mouth. Giselle does not think before she speaks. So she was like, well, you know what? As soon as I said it, I was like, oh, I effed up. But I thought she knew. Girl, no, you didn't. I could tell how you said it. You knew she didn't know. So Robin called her out, and I'm proud of her, honey, because normally she don't say nothing. And then she explains to us why his name is not on the deed. But to be honest, it don't matter. People do that all the time. Somebody's name is on there and somebody's name is not. And it might have been Juan's idea, honey, so he can get a clean escape. And he ain't fooling me. Child, no paperwork. Listen, your name on the house and not mine. All the financial responsibility is on you. I'm about to dip, okay? The boys are 18. Therefore, and thus and such, we ain't got nothing to separate. We ain't married, and the house is all yours. Goodbye. Honey, that's how they do. So then Giselle starts talking about how she doesn't believe Ashley in this divorce. And Robin was like, well, you know, I really hate to doubt my friends, just like we're doing Mia. I feel like it's all about the delivery. Gizzard has no couth. She has no couth. She's like, oh, should I text her? Let me just text Mia. What you think? You think I should text her? And Robin was like, yeah. So she texted her right then and there. But why Robin got to tell you to text her? Why one of y'all can't think without the other? Do you know that when you do something wrong to someone, you should correct it on your own? Girl, you too old for that. That don't make no sense. So then Robin brings up how she was shopping with Ashley. Honey, now that they got that out the way, she was like, girl, so we was shopping and whatnot, okay? But then she started looking all serious and told me that Chris DM'd her at 2 a.m. in the morning. So they show Robin telling Ashley that he's the GM at the rooftop, and that's probably why he DM'd her at that time. So Ashley is saying to Robin, well, her issue is that Candace wasn't there. So Robin said, well, I told her it was okay because it's not like he slid in her DMs. He goes, Giselle, oh no, he slid. Lady, stop. He did not slide into her DMs, okay? When you post something in the stories, if you click on it, it will leave a little box where you can say something. So girl, go on, honey. He did not slide in her DMs. Him sliding in her DMs will be unprompted. Ain't nobody saying nothing to Chris, okay? It's just a random Thursday night, okay? You're laying down. Dean and Dylan are asleep. They snoring. You're watching them on the baby monitor. And then he texts you or messages you on Instagram at 2 o'clock in the morning. That's him sliding in the DMs. Giselle, you don't know what you be talking about, y'all. So Ashley was basically saying that, you know, no matter what the point of it was, it just felt off. Now, I have to say this. I would not want my coworkers' husbands DMing me either, even in response to my stories. So I get it. But I don't even like other people's men following me on Instagram, okay? Because once I post my yearly thirst trap picture, honey, I don't want your wife mad at me. Because if you accidentally double tap and that heart light up and your wife sees that you have liked said bikini picture, I don't want to hear nothing about it. I have always thought that it's strange when other people's spouses follow their friends. Like, why you got to look at me? Child, this is a story time. It's not really a story time. So it's this girl I went to high school with, right? So I went to high school with her husband as well. We all graduated at the same time. So I did not know they were married. So he started following me first. My page is private. Then she started following me. So like I just told y'all, I'm going to post a thirst trap if I don't do nothing else, honey. But please don't DM me because I'm unavailable. Baby, I'm so unavailable. It's ridiculous. So child, he likes the picture. So then she DMs me and she's like, girl, why is my husband liking your pictures? And I'm thinking to myself, who's your husband? Because on her page, there's not hide nor hair of him. And on his page, there's not hide nor hair of her. So she was like, I'm going to call him Paul. She's like, Paul, that's my husband. I said, girl, well, let me immediately block him. I am so sorry, girl. I did not know that was your husband. I was in no way trying to be disrespectful, honey. But, I mean, y'all gonna have to start posting each other, child, because I don't keep up with you people. Once we graduated and turned that tassel from the left to the right, I forgot all about y'all. But child, it's just a story time. It's not really a story time. And that's just a side note. So I understand what Ashley is saying, but it would seem like to me, if I were Candace, that it's a setup. And also, let me add this. I do think that Chris was just being friendly. Because I remember Funky Dineva saying that Chris texted him late one night. I just feel like Chris needs to learn phone etiquette and social media etiquette. It's like he doesn't have it. Now, I cannot remember what video that was that Funky was doing, but he said that him and Chris were texting and it was late at night. So I think that's just Chris's thing. Like, Chris, you don't have to stop that, child. So Giselle was like, well, wait a minute. He DM'd me before and I wasn't comfortable with it. So Robin was like, why? Like, you've been to their house. He's cooked for us. He's our friend. Like, why? So Giselle is like, well, I didn't like the way that he acted at the reunion. So she tells this story of Chris waiting for her. And he said he wanted to talk to her in her room. But, you know, she was cool with him talking to her in her room because she thought the glam was there, but they were not. So Robin asked what they talked about. And she was like, girl, he was saying something about Candace. He was complaining about Candace. Girl, it was just whatever about Candace. But I mean, it just wasn't good for me. I didn't like it. So Robin said, well, he probably was drunk. She said, yeah, he was very drunk. And that makes it even worse. She's like, I don't want to be in a closed room with a married man because, I've been cheated on and I don't want to be put in the optics of cheating. Well, Giselle, you know how you avoid that? You don't let him in your damn room once you realize Glam was gone. And it really amazes me that you have outrage after Ashley piped up. Girl, they need to add a new category to the Olympics for the reach, honey, because you'd have 4 gold medals like Sonya over there on Real Housewives of Atlanta, honey. You're reaching. It's a reach. Giselle, stop this immediately. Girl, moving forward. So Robin was like, well, he didn't do anything inappropriate or say anything inappropriate, so what's the problem? So Giselle is like, I feel like he was trying to see if I was with it. Okay? That's what I tried to, he was trying to see that. Robin said, but you said he was only talking about Candace. She's like, yeah, but he was complaining, like letting me know he's not happy at home. Giselle. Oh my goodness. If there was ever a season for Candace to act up, it would be this one. Because not only are you implying that my husband is a cheater, you're implying that he came to complain about how miserable I make him and that probably you and your whatnots would make him feel better. So if there was ever a time for Candace to act a fool, it would be right now. She was like, he's a sneaky link. And girl, see, this is what happened when you use words heard on social media, honey. You're using the word wrong. A sneaky link is a person that you want to sneak around with. Okay? He's not your sneaky link. Okay, girl, please. In the next scene, Ray and Karen, they're at home and she's talking to him about her follow-up appointment. She's trying to figure out why he has a problem with her touch-ups because he didn't have a problem with it when she was in her 30s. So Ray was like, well, I don't want to encourage women to think that they have to do that. And Karen said, well, I would never encourage Raven to do this, unless she was ready. And he was like totally against it. Like, I don't want to encourage her to do it ever. Well, Ray, I say this. It's your body. Do what you want to do. Do what makes you happy. Okay? Because it's your body at the end of the day. Honey, if I wasn't so scary, I would do it too. But I'm afraid of the horror stories and whatnot. Baby, I get these boobs lifted right on up. Honey, be sitting right underneath my neck. Y'all be like, oh, honey. Why are they big so up? Why are they sitting so up? Honey, my goal is to never wear a bra again. But I can't do that because, like I said, I'm scared. Moving forward. In the next scene, Mia and G, they go out for a little bite to eat. And she tells us that they're opening up one of the new locations of her business in D.C. And she's like, but with the potential cancer, something got to give. Girl, what? Not with this potential cancer. I just hate the way that she is nonchalantly explaining cancer. Mia, you got to do better, honey. Not with this potential cancer. Girl, just please, okay? So then Jacqueline, her BFF, she shows up and she said they've known each other since they were 15. And she decides to sit next to G. Mia was like, yeah, that's G's other wife. They just don't do the sex. So production is like, are you sure? Honey, I know that's right. And that's what I want to know. Are you sure? She was like, with G? No, not with G. Oh. Well, honey, what I heard was, we done shared a few, but not G. That's what it sounded like to me. Am I wrong? Was it just me? Because try to show what it sounded like to me. But I'm going to say this. The thing is, I don't know why some women play with their husband this way. You don't need to be sitting next to my husband. It's a seat right next to me, okay? My purse will hold that seat. Or, G, get your ass up and sit next to me. You don't need to be sitting next to Jacqueline, honey. I don't play like that with my husband. Now y'all all over Twitter talking about the lady likes other people's husbands now that y'all done fell out. But it was perfectly all right for her to sit next to G and be his second wife when y'all were cool. So you can't play like that, okay? Y'all can't be playing like that, girl. That ain't cute. Anyways, Mia tells them, that she got the biopsy results, but now they need to do further testing. Okay, now, for me, once they did the biopsy, and they read the results or looked at it or whatever, they ruled out cancer. So doesn't it rule everything out? I'm a little confused about all of it. I'm not accusing her of lying in this moment. I'm just saying that I'm confused as to after how they got the biopsy results, they still need to run more testing. But maybe something else is going on. So maybe there's that. So Jacqueline brings up that she's appalled and disgusted, okay, that Giselle would even think she was lying and trying to get attention. She was like, but you know what I am wondering? I'm wondering if Karen was trying to cover her behind by throwing Giselle under the bus. Miss Jacqueline, you're wrong on this one, okay? Actually, this time, Karen really didn't engage in the mess with Giselle. She didn't. She flat out said, I need to get more information. So I don't think Karen was trying to cover her butt. Probably when she was sitting with Giselle, because honey, she know how messy Giselle is. But I don't think she was doing that to throw her under the bus. I don't think so. So Mia reads this text from Karen, basically giving her a heads up. And Mia said, basically this is what you're telling me in this text is that y'all been talking ish about me all week. And you want me to know before I get there. Got it. I don't see nothing wrong with giving you a heads up. Listen, I'd rather somebody let me know that I'm finna walk into some BS. Please don't let me blindly walk into no mess. Tell me so that I'm able to figure out how I want to move, because I might not even speak to you. That's just me. So Mia was like, I feel like she had plenty of opportunities to tell me, and you live 6 minutes away, so why not just come over? So then G was asking if she had heard from Giselle, and she was like, yeah, she sent me a text, but they're gonna have to get a strong dose of Mia Thornton. Girl, anyway. In the next scene, Ashley and Candace meet up. Child, not Ashley and Candace meet at a place called Swingers. And child, it is a very cute spot though, but the name really threw me off. So Ashley is pulling Candace to the side to make a big deal out of nothing, because normally Ashley says she would say things to Candace in the middle of a group, and that's not respectful to Candace, and Candace doesn't like that. So, she's going to go a different route, and she's going to pull Candace to the side alone. And I appreciated that. So they sit down over drinks, right? And she's telling Ashley about the Grammys and how many people she met in the industry. So they talking about that. So Ashley just comes out and tries to tell Candace, listen, girl, Chris DM'd me at 2:40 a.m. Candace said, my husband, Chris? Girl. So Ashley said, yeah, the text said y'all need to come to the W. She's like, well, but I don't know the context. Girl, your messy tail self know the context. Instagram literally shows you the response to your story by looking at the picture above it. Okay, come on, Ashley. Come on now. Okay, it's one thing for you to feel like you need to let her know just in case she sees it and she doesn't get any mixed messages or whatever. But you sitting here talking about you don't know the context. Girl, whatever. You are young enough to know that that is him responding to your stories. Hell, if she knows, I know you know. So Ashley said, I just thought that, he thought my friend was cute. Baby, woo, honey. So Candace is trying to keep her cool, and she tells Ashley, Chris is the GM at View in the W, so he's trying to get cool people like my friends to come there. And Ashley was like, oh, okay, well, that makes me feel better because now I know he's the GM. Well, you knew he was the GM before you had this meeting because Robin told you that he was the GM there. So that should have shut down any doubt that you had. He wanted you to just come hang out with him at 2:00 in the morning. I don't know. Maybe that's just me, honey. It's giving confusion. But I'm happy the two of them had a grown folks conversation. Ashley didn't know he worked there. So now, she understands what's going on because it appeared weird. I'm proud of how Candace really handled it. She did well. The two of them did great. Okay. Especially Candace. It showed great maturity. So I have to say that, honey. Too bad Gizzard is going to take this mess to a whole new level because you know how she like to do. It's the day of Ashley's TikTok dance class, right? So Karen can't make it because she says she has a 102 fever. And Robin and Giselle arrive. Well, Robin arrives first. And Robin always late. Child, Robin got a new hairdo, honey, a new attitude. Baby, Robin is on fire so far this season. Now, I ain't no Rob stan and probably will never be one. But I have to say, calling out Gizzard, showing up on time, putting your clothes on you right, got your name on the house in case you need to make a clean break. Baby, I love to see it. So anyway, she gets there. Then Gizzard arrives with this plopped on wig with no part. Gizzard! Girl. If you're going to wear a wig like that, you put on one of Rob's Amazon hats. That's a hat wig. Oh, my goodness. Oh, child. That is a hat wig. Oh, honey, that's one of the wigs you put on ever so. Child, you put it on ever so, and you put one of them bedazzled hats that Robin's selling over there at the flea market. You put one of them hats on. Child, I ain't got time to play with y'all. So they're trying to figure out if Karen decided she wasn't coming because she found out Sharice was coming. So Giselle is like, well, yeah, she hiding from Sharice, honey, because Sharice tried to get her to go to lunch and Karen ain't answered that phone since. Well, she the reason why she don't want to be around Sharice is because she knows that she has tea on her. Girl, Karen not concerned about any old tea that Sharice bringing years later, honey, clamoring to get back on this show. She's unbothered. Okay. So Ashley is offering them non-alcoholic libations and they're like, girl, please. And so she's like, well, I'm not drinking. So Giselle reminds the room that Ashley said she wasn't drinking but was quick to take a tequila shot. I told y'all Ashley was cold last review. I said Ashley was shivering like hell. So she took that shot of tequila to warm up her insides. But honey, that coat and more clothing could have also warmed up your insides. And why is it so cold in that restaurant? So Robin asked Giselle, do you and Ashley have anything to discuss? And Giselle looking at her like, I don't think so. And Ashley said, well, okay, just a second. Basically, you were calling my divorce a shim-sham. So I'm just trying to figure out why you doing that. So while they talking about that, and they're about to get into it, here comes Sharice and this Versace bopping in the room. I'm like, ma'am, you and your Versace have a seat. The heifers is getting into it. So Giselle starts saying that she don't play about divorce because it's heartbreaking and it seemed like Ashley was playing with divorce. Girl, how you not gonna play with somebody else's divorce? How? Why do you care so much? It's giving boredom. But now that the Etch-a-Sketch house has a driveway, you ain't got nothing else to do, Giselle? Not nothing? Girl, she was like, and another thing, you do not buy a house with a man that you are divorcing. You don't buy a house with a man you divorcing though, but she just getting Michael to buy the house. So after she gets divorced from him, the house will still be hers. Because it's just a lot of paperwork and a lot of mess involved when you have to split up assets. So I think Ashley is probably thinking about it that way. So Ashley was like, well, didn't you and Jamal reconcile? Giselle said, yes, 15 years later. She's like, okay, well, I didn't know I had a statute of limitations on my feelings. She said, okay, so are y'all back together? She said, no, but it's not like he cheated on me. Giselle said, it's not like he cheated on you. She gonna say, not lately. Oh my gosh, honey. So then Ashley goes, it's not like he has outside babies and he's cheating on me. There's no tension between us. Child, not her mentioning everything Jamal did to Giselle. I'm like, Ashley, you ain't slick, honey, and you ain't fooling me. I see exactly what you're doing. She feels like Giselle should know how hard it is to let go of somebody that you built a life with and that you have children with. And I have to agree with Ashley on that. It is hard to make a clean break from a man that you've been in a relationship with. But to be honest, other people are thinking the same thing that Giselle is thinking about Ashley's divorce. Gizzard is just tacky enough to say it. Let's just call a spade a spade. So the instructor comes over, Instructor Jasmine, and she comes over and takes them into the room so they can get stretched. And baby, this gonna be something else. So then Candace and Mia, they arrive. Hey, y'all. And Mia in the confessional was saying that Ashley didn't do anything wrong to her, so she's happy to be there for her. But as for Giselle, she did not respond to her text message because she doesn't respond to disrespect. So now she has to go back to making an appointment. Well, girl, you might have to book an appointment on the unemployment line here soon, the way you acting up with your business and the people all over the internet. I'm just saying. I have got to stop being so shady. This don't make no damn sense. Ooh, honey. So they all start flopping around on the floor, honey, thrusting and whatnot, opening their legs and spread them to I'm like, oh, honey, this is just giving too much, honey. So after the seductive 8 counts are done, some of the ladies go in and have refreshments, and Giselle and Candace, they stay behind. Baby, it's finna be a fool. So production is asking Giselle in the confessional, why do you feel the need to talk to Candace about it? Because she miserable and ain't got nothing else to do? But she said, it's because, first he slid into Ashley's DM, and then the reunion didn't sit well with me, and it just didn't make me feel good. Well, Giselle, why would you wait a whole year to tell her that you were uncomfortable on camera? Okay? That doesn't make any sense to me. You're giving little weirdo vibes. You really are. This is somebody's marriage. So you're just going to sit around and wait an entire year sitting in your uncomfortableness when you just encountered Chris at the Mexican Spring Fling party or whatever y'all was doing out there at that restaurant eating tacos and whatever y'all was doing. Everything was fine. But now you're uncomfortable? So they sit down and Giselle was like, well, I wanted to talk to you. And so Candace is kind of on guard because she's like, well, what did I do? And Giselle said, you didn't do nothing. But, Chris has DM'd Ashley. And about that, it was a little bit of a situation where he made me uncomfortable. Like we were at the reunion, we were in the hallway, we were talking, and he asked to talk to me in my room. I said it was cool because Glam was there. But then when we got there, they were not. Girl, I wish you stopped calling the people that do that stuff to you glam, okay? Because they don't deserve it, okay? They really do not. So Candace is like, well, did he do something to you? Did he say something to you? She said no. Okay, then, Giselle, save it. If he didn't do anything to you, save it. So she's like, well, yeah, because he wouldn't do that. So she goes, yeah, well, I don't know what was going on. I can't remember what he said because it was late. But for me, I don't want to be in a bedroom with a married man. Well, don't be. Listen, y'all. Y'all know I'm empathetic to all things women. Usually I understand. But if you know there's no one in the room, then he could have waited or met you in the lobby. Why put yourself in that position? You are the one who put yourself in an uncomfortable position. He did not have to come in. He didn't force his way in. You could have said, well, Chris, I'm going to talk to you tomorrow. I'm a little tired. Baby, lock that top lock, the bottom lock, the side lock, and put one of them little portable locks in there. Keep him on the outside. If you knew that was going to make you feel uncomfortable. She's like, but then I told Cal that he made me uncomfortable. And Cal was like, I don't like that because he knew I was gone. Because he said goodbye to me before I left. Well, Cal, you know what we don't like? Those god-awful wigs you put your so-called best friend in. We also don't like that you've been consistently terrible at doing this lady's hair for 6 years now. Child, I would eat him and Giselle alive. Do you hear me? Honey, talking about he don't like it. And we don't like nothing you do. Boy, anyway. So Candace said, so this is what we're doing? She's looking right at the cameras. Cameras, I'm speaking directly to y'all. This what we doing? So this is an attack on Chris, the man that looks at you guys like sisters, the one that would lay a jacket down over a puddle so that you could cross it, the one that has cooked for you and invited you into his home. He would do anything for you, but you want to say he made you uncomfortable? Giselle said, 100%. Candace said, got it. Baby, so she gets up and leaves, honey. Now, you know they always tell you, please don't ever be unleveled. Candace is up and Giselle is down. So, baby, Giselle held onto that floor so she could get up. So, baby, she trying to get up. So, Candace gets up and she starts walking away. So, she's like, I need Eric. I don't want the cameras. I want Eric. So, she walking around to find Eric, who is the EP, executive producer. Candace said, look, see, this is what we not finna do. Y'all have Michael Darby for that. The one that grabs, okay, and makes people actually uncomfortable. You have him available for that, not my husband. So you want to malign my husband? Is that what we're going to do? No, that's not what we're going to do. Child, I know that's right. Candy girl, go ahead and drive back, honey, pun intended, home and let your husband know all what's going on so that he can stay away from these heifers. I have to stand with Candace on this one. That's how you break the fourth wall and get the people together. Because there was absolutely no reason for them to make this into something that it's not. Not taking away what Giselle say she felt. But Giselle, that could have been avoided had you not invited him into your room after you realized that the people that paint your face and put them wigs on were gone. And that was the end of the episode, to be continued. Baby, this episode was good to me. Charlie gave a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Y'all comment down below and tell me exactly what you thought about this episode. What do you think about the whole respectfully? Okay, because I know, woo, child, we coming down off of BravoCon. Honey, I don't know if some of y'all listening on the plane on the way home. I know y'all love the Housewives. But what do you think about what Giselle is saying? How do you think Ashley handled the situation? You know, do you think Ashley was over exaggerating? How do you feel Candace handled the whole situation? I feel like Candace did very well. Please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And as always, stay safe, stay blessed, spread love, not germs. Peace.